The Philippines, a breathtaking paradise of over 7,000 islands, is known for its crystal-clear beaches and vibrant culture. But beneath its tropical beauty lies something even more fascinating. An ancient past filled with secrets waiting to be uncovered. For centuries, archaeologists have been on a relentless quest to piece together the untold stories of civilizations long forgotten. Their discoveries range from eerily well-preserved mummies hidden deep within shadowy tombs to fossils that challenge everything we thought we knew about evolution. Then there are the remnants of lost cities, silent and mysterious, whispering tales of an age we barely understand. These finds are more than just artifacts. They hold secrets that continue to baffle experts to this day. What do these discoveries reveal about the past? What mysteries remain unsolved? Get ready to uncover the most astonishing archaeological finds in the Philippines, each one more mind-blowing than the last. Let's explore them now. Number 1. The Mummy on the Ghost Ship, a haunting mystery at sea. It was February 26, 2016, when two Filipino fishermen stumbled upon a chilling sight off the southern coast of the Philippines. An abandoned yacht eerily drifting with the waves. But what they found inside was even more disturbing. Slumped over a radio desk was the lifeless, mummified body of a middle-aged man, his skin weathered by the relentless sea breeze. One arm was stretched out, as if reaching for something or someone, while the other rested limply by his side. His expression was frozen in time, devoid of clear emotion, yet it seemed to tell a silent story of solitude, desperation, and an unfinished journey. Who was this man? What happened aboard this ghostly vessel? Authorities soon identified him as Manfred Fritz Bajorat, a 59-year-old German sailor and seasoned explorer. His personal documents, found on board, confirmed his identity, but many questions remained unanswered. Where had his final voyage begun? What path had his yacht taken before fate left him alone in the middle of the ocean? As investigators searched the swaying ship, they uncovered fragments of Bajorat's past. Scattered among faded clothes and empty food containers was an old photo album filled with snapshots of happier times, smiling faces, cherished moments, echoes of a life now lost. But one discovery stood out. A deeply emotional letter Bajorat had written to his late wife. It has been 30 years we have been together in life, and then the power of death overcame the right to live. You have gone. May your soul rest in peace. The message painted a sorrowful picture of a man who had loved deeply and lost painfully. His wife, Claudia, had sailed beside him for 20 years before their marriage ended in 2008. 2 years later, she succumbed to cancer, leaving Bajorat to navigate the vast seas alone. Despite the loneliness, he never abandoned his passion for adventure. His bond with his daughter, Nina, and his memories of Claudia remained, but the ocean became his constant companion. Until one day, somewhere in the endless blue, his own journey reached its tragic conclusion. When his body was examined in Butuan City, the Philippine National Police confirmed the cause of death: acute myocardial infarction, commonly known as a heart attack. Yet, what left scientists astonished was how well-preserved his remains were. Experts believe the combination of hot temperatures, dry air, and salty sea winds naturally mummified his body, allowing it to remain intact until the day it was found. The mysterious smoke mummies of Mount Timbuk. In January 2015, an astonishing archaeological discovery sent shockwaves through the scientific community. Hidden deep within the dark caves of Mount Timbuk, nestled in the Benguet province over 200 miles north of Manila, researchers stumbled upon something truly extraordinary: a forgotten tomb containing centuries-old mummies, perfectly preserved by an ancient and mysterious ritual. These were no ordinary remains. The bodies belonged to the Ibaloi people, an indigenous ethnic group with a unique tradition, unlike anything else in the world. Long before modern embalming techniques existed, the Ibaloi had mastered a remarkable way of preserving their dead by smoking their bodies over a fire for months. This meticulous process prevented decay and transformed the deceased into fire mummies, ensuring their spirits remained honored for generations. Once the smoking ritual was complete, the mummies were carefully placed inside hidden tombs within Mount Timbuk, forming an underground cemetery lost to time. Thanks to this ancient practice, the bodies remained so well preserved that even after 1,000 years, intricate tattoos were still visible on their arms and legs, a hauntingly beautiful reminder of their past lives. Among those fascinated by this discovery was Edgar Allan Zeta Yap, a passionate young researcher who embarked on a journey to witness the fire mummies firsthand. His encounter with these ancient remains left him in awe. "These mummies are incredibly well preserved," he shared. "You can still see the tattoos on their skin. It's unlike anything I've ever seen before." The Ibelois sacred burial ritual thrived for centuries, but it was eventually banned by Spanish colonizers around 400 years ago, causing the tradition to fade into history. Despite this, the tombs of Mount Timbuk remained undisturbed, concealed in the depths of the mountain until their rediscovery in the 19th century. Today, a few of these ancient burial sites have been opened to the public, allowing visitors to step into the past and witness one of the most fascinating yet eerie remnants of Filipino history. The fire mummies of Mount Timbuk serve as both a testament to an ancient culture's ingenuity and a haunting mystery that continues to captivate the world. The 300-year-old Pantabangan town. In May 2024, an extraordinary event stunned the residents of Nueva Ecija, Philippines. After months of intense heat and little rainfall, the water level of the Pantabangan Reservoir dropped drastically, revealing something long thought to be lost forever: the ruins of a 300-year-old town. Emerging from the depths, remnants of a submerged church, ancient gravestones, and the foundations of centuries-old structures slowly came into view. This was Pantabangan Town, a once thriving community with a population of around 1,300 people, which was deliberately flooded in 1970 to make way for the construction of the Pantabangan Dam, a critical water and irrigation source for Nueva Ecija and nearby provinces. Back in 1970, the town's residents were forced to abandon their homes, relocating to higher ground before the waters consumed their history. Even the remains of the deceased were exhumed and reburied in a new cemetery, ensuring their spirits wouldn't be lost beneath the rising tide. But over 5 decades later, nature decided to unveil its hidden secret. Due to a severe drop in water levels, 26 meters lower since the start of the year and 7 meters lower than the previous year, Pantabangan's lost ruins began to reappear. For many locals, it was an emotional and surreal moment, as history quite literally rose from the depths. For some, this eerie yet fascinating phenomenon became an opportunity. Fishermen who once relied solely on their daily catch saw a sudden shift in fortune as curious tourists flocked to witness the re-emerging town. One fisherman shared, "Before, I made only 200 pesos a day, but now, with tourists coming, I can earn between 1,500 to 1,800 pesos daily." As Pantabangan town's ghostly ruins continue to resurface, they serve as a haunting reminder of a vanished past, an incredible piece of history hidden beneath the water for more than 50 years. For now, visitors rush to see what remains. Before the reservoir swallows the town once again, the golden Buddha statue and the treasure of General Yamashita. In 1960, while serving as a soldier in the Philippine Army, Rogelio Roxas stumbled upon a young man in dire need. The man, barely in his 20s, was gravely ill and lay helpless near a barracks. When Roxas learned his name, Tomolo, and that he had no family, home, or means of survival, he didn't hesitate to act. He took Tomolo to a hospital and paid for his treatment from his own pocket. 2 weeks later, once Tomolo had recovered, he confided in Roxas about a secret that had haunted him for years. During the Japanese occupation of the Philippines, a Japanese officer had lived with his sister as her husband. However, when Japan surrendered, that officer was captured, and fearing retaliation from Filipino resistance fighters, Tomolo's sister fled to Cebu Island, never to be seen again. Knowing that Tomolo longed to find his sister, Roxas not only bought him a boat ticket, but also gave him money for his journey. Overwhelmed by this act of kindness, Tomolo gifted Roxas something unexpected: an old, hand-drawn map. Tomolo explained that his brother-in-law, the captured officer, had been one of the men tasked with burying General Yamashita's treasure, a legendary trove of gold looted from Myanmar and other Southeast Asian nations during World War II. To protect the secret, all soldiers who participated in the burial were executed. Just days before Japan's surrender, and before the devastating atomic bombs fell on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Tomolo's brother-in-law entrusted him with the map, telling him to keep it safe. But he never returned. Years later, in 1949, when all prisoners of war were finally released by the US military, Tomolo learned the grim truth. His brother-in-law had succumbed to malaria in 1945. Left with nothing, Tomolo spent the following years living in a monastery, too destitute to even think about searching for the treasure. By that time, rumors about Yamashita's gold had spread across the Philippines. Fraudsters frequently circulated fake maps, luring investors into funding excavations, only to vanish with their money. Tomolo feared that if he revealed the map, he would be dismissed as another conman. So instead, he entrusted it to Roxas, hoping that if the treasure was real, they could share in its fortune. By 1967, Roxas had left the military, but his mind was fixated on one goal: unraveling the mystery of the map. For the next 3 years, he obsessively analyzed its markings, convinced that the treasure was real. Finally, in early 1971, his research paid off. The symbols on the map pointed to a location near an abandoned hospital in Baguio City, northern Luzon. Roxas wasted no time. He secured official permission to excavate from Judge Pio Marcos and assembled a team of workers, all trusted family members. Armed with only hand tools and a small generator for light, they began digging. Then, on the night of January 23, 1971, at 11 p.m., Roxas and his team hit something. They had uncovered an entrance to a tunnel 9 meters deep. Breaking through a brick wall, they stumbled upon eerie remnants of the past: tangled electrical cables, a radio transmitter, rusting bayonets, and old rifles. But the most chilling discovery? A human skeleton, still clad in a Japanese army uniform. The next day, January 24th, they pressed forward, breaking through 2 additional concrete barriers. What they uncovered left them stunned. There, buried for decades, stood a massive golden Buddha statue, nearly a meter tall. The statue was so incredibly heavy that it took 10 men using ropes and pulleys to lift it. That night, Roxas transported it to his home, storing it safely in his private quarters. But the real shock came later. The Buddha's head was detachable, revealing a hidden compartment filled with uncut diamonds. Determined to explore further, Roxas and his team returned to the tunnel the following day. Just 15 meters from where the Buddha had rested, they unearthed several tin containers lined with wood, each the size of a modern beer can. Inside, pure gold. Each container held 24 solid gold bars. Roxas wasted no time, transporting the gold, a samurai sword, and several bayonets back to his house. He also collected relics of the war: rice bowls, canteens, and personal effects of Japanese soldiers. Realizing they had only scratched the surface of Yamashita's legendary treasure, Roxas sealed the tunnel entrance with explosives, intending to return later. In the following weeks, Roxas made 2 trips to the Baguio court to meet with Judge Pio Marcos, seeking official recognition of his legal claim to the treasure. Strangely, he was never able to secure an audience with Marcos. Meanwhile, Roxas needed money to pay his workers. To cover his debts, he sold 7 gold bars, promising his team an even greater reward once he found a buyer for the golden Buddha. By March 1971, Roxas had found a potential buyer: Kenneth Cheetham, a representative of a British company, a 40,000-year-old discovery that rewrites human history. Archaeologists have just made a game-changing discovery in Taban Cave located in Palawan, Western Philippines. and it completely redefines our understanding of ancient technology. For years, experts believed that fiber technology, used for making ropes, nets, and woven materials, first appeared around 8,000 years ago, with the oldest known artifacts coming from China. But this recent finding challenges that assumption entirely. Scientists have uncovered conclusive evidence that an ancient civilization in the Philippines had already mastered advanced fiber technology 40,000 years ago, tens of thousands of years before previously thought possible. In a study published in PLOS One, researchers examined stone tools unearthed from Taban Cave, a site already well known for its prehistoric human remains. But what they discovered was truly astonishing. Through microscopic analysis, they found clear signs of wear and damage, indicating that these tools were used for processing plant fibers. This meant that as early as 40,000 years ago, ancient people in the region were already braiding ropes, weaving baskets, binding materials together. This completely rewrites the timeline of technological advancements in human history. Further research suggests that early Filipino communities weren't just experimenting with fiber technology. They had already developed sophisticated techniques for processing durable plant fibers from palm and bamboo. Herman Joseph S. Kraft, a researcher from the University of the Philippines, Diliman, explains the profound impact of this discovery. Fiber technology wasn't just about convenience. It was a key factor in human survival and innovation. With these woven materials, early humans were able to create baskets to store food and supplies, traps for hunting, ropes for building homes, bows and arrows for protection and hunting, sturdy boats with sails for travel and exploration. Even more intriguing, the stone tools used for weaving and basket making in Southeast Asia were completely different from those found in Africa and Europe. They came in a wider variety of sizes and shapes, suggesting a unique and advanced weaving culture had developed in the region. Scientists now believe that this innovation was a direct result of environmental adaptation during what they call the Age of Bamboo, a period when early humans in the region utilized the abundant bamboo forests around them to develop tools, structures, and survival strategies. This discovery isn't just about ancient fiber technology. It's a window into the intelligence, adaptability, and craftsmanship of the earliest human populations in Southeast Asia. It proves that these early civilizations weren't just surviving, they were thriving, pioneering technology thousands of years ahead of their time. And now, history will never be the same again. The dwarf people who were only 1.2 meters tall and could climb trees. The history of human evolution is gaining a new chapter today, with the discovery of fossils belonging to an ancient, previously unknown dwarf human species. Archaeologists have uncovered these fossils in a cave in the Philippines, dating back between 50,000 and 67,000 years. This newly identified species, named Homo luzonensis, stood under 1.2 meters tall and exhibited tree-climbing abilities. During the same time period, our ancestors, Homo sapiens, along with Neanderthals, were expanding across Eurasia. However, on the secluded island of Luzon, inside Calao Cave, Homo luzonensis appears to have lived in isolation, unaware of the broader world. The prevailing belief in human history has been that our species originated in Africa. Around 1.5 million years ago, no human species had yet migrated beyond Africa until Homo erectus became the first to venture out. This species spread across areas that are now Spain, China, and Indonesia, but eventually went extinct around 50,000 years ago. At that same time, our ancestors, Homo sapiens, the sole surviving human species today, embarked on a significant migration out of Africa. However, recent discoveries confirm that they were not alone. Researchers previously identified 6 other species within the Homo genus, but this number has now risen to 7 with the addition of Homo luzonensis. Florent Detroit, a lead researcher from the National Museum of Natural History in Paris, describes this finding as a major addition to the story of human evolution. Detroit and his team excavated Calao Cave on Luzon Island, uncovering 7 teeth, 2 hand bones, 3 leg bones, and 1 thigh bone. attributed to 2 adults and 1 child. Although the remains do not form a complete skeleton, they offer enough evidence to infer the appearance and lifestyle of Homo luzonensis. The small teeth suggest that this species stood less than 1.2 meters tall, making them even shorter than Homo floresiensis, a similarly small-statured human species sometimes referred to as hobbits, which also lived in Southeast Asia around the same time. What makes Homo luzonensis particularly intriguing is its curved toe bones, a feature reminiscent of much older human ancestors like Australopithecus, which lived in Africa around 2 to 3 million years ago. These curved toe bones indicate that Homo luzonensis had a mixed lifestyle, capable of both walking upright and climbing trees. One theory suggests that because this species lived in isolation on an island, their evolution took a different course, preserving ancient anatomical traits. A key question remains: how did Homo luzonensis reach Luzon, a remote Pacific island never connected to the mainland? Scientists have proposed 2 main theories. One possibility is that early human groups attempted ocean crossings using rafts. The other, more widely accepted hypothesis is that they arrived by accident, perhaps carried to the island by a tsunami. Many researchers doubt that Homo erectus had the cognitive ability to intentionally navigate the open seas, making the tsunami theory more plausible. This explanation aligns with the broader narrative of early human migration from Africa to Asia, while accounting for the presence of Homo luzonensis in such an isolated location. Regardless of how they arrived, one fact is indisputable: Homo luzonensis existed, reshaping our understanding of human evolution. Scientists are continuing to study these findings in hopes of unraveling the mysteries and answering questions that have remained unresolved for thousands of years. For archaeologists, these discoveries not only enrich the world's archaeological heritage, but also present an opportunity for us to rethink the past more deeply, helping us to better understand the origins and development of human civilization. What do you think about these discoveries? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any other fascinating discoveries. We will uncover the last discovery in our next video. For now, goodbye and see you next time.